fighters are teaming up all the time in Dragon Ball Z, now players can team up in the real world too.
The ARG Circuit Series is proud to present Team Wars.
ARG will track your 6-person team's progress throughout the entire Dragon Ball Series circuit event. They'll tally the scores for each team through the finals. Teams earn points for every win. Each team accumulates points for their team every round. A win nets you 3 points, a draw 1 point, no points for a loss. The 2 highest scoring teams will face off on ARG's Twitch channel after the Circuit Series main event live.
Each team can have a maximum of 6 players, and each player must wear a matching shirt or jersey. For a full list of rules and prizes, go to argcircuitseries.com and look for Team Wars under the Dragon Ball Super category. A Saiyan has no limits. Do you? Prove to the world that your team is the best by participating at the ARG Circuit Series Team Wars.
All right, cool. Yeah, so this is a union-staffed convention center, and so we had to jump through a lot of hoops, do a lot of different stuff to be allowed to stream here. So here we go. This is the first round. So we had to kind of, it's been very weird for me because it was like we had to use like certain things. We weren't allowed to use certain hookups. We were allowed to do certain things. So it's been really weird. But we're off to a good start here. We're getting started. Now we have Rodel Santos on the left playing SS3 Goku. And then on the right, we have Chrisabel. You guys might know him. He's a regional champion on the right playing Mecha Frieza. Now, this is a pretty good matchup. This is a matchup that we expect to see quite often in this regional event, which is going to be SS3 Goku trying to prey on those Mecha Frieza decks, and then Mecha Frieza being obviously one of the most powerful decks in the current format. Now, one of the big problems with this, though, is that SS3 Goku was very good against certain versions of Mecha Frieza, but then very bad against certain other versions. And so the problem by playing SS3 Goku, depending on how you built your deck, right, you have a certain variant of Mecha Frieza you want to see, and you have other ones you don't want to see. And so I was curious to see, what Rodel was playing here and which version he wants to see. Now, he looks like he's playing the green-yellow version of SS3 Goku, which has some really cool interactions. With the fact that he has Caulifla in hand makes me think he's probably playing the Veggie version, kind of a later game Veggie version, with cards like Mecha Frieza's Energy right now. We see that he has the ability to do multiple board wipes or try to kill multiple battle cards in one turn, which is what you have to do if you want to beat Veggies at all. Now, so it looks like this S33 Goku deck is actually built to maybe take on this Mecha Veggies deck, which Chrisabel is playing. Now, with cards like the Mecha Frieza, the 4-drop Mecha Frieza card, it's obviously going to be a lot worse versus Apes. So it's, again, looks like the SS3 Goku might have got his favorable matchup here, and Chrisabella obviously playing Veggies, which in my opinion is the best deck in the current format. The reason why is because it allows you to essentially you can play the game any way you want. You can be an aggressive deck if you need to against certain matchups. You can be a mid-range deck if you need to. Then you can even step back and be more controlling with Shigesh's and the Kells. So it's a very, very good deck, and honestly, probably my favorite deck in the court format. So Chris, I think, playing the correct choice coming into this event, and we'll see if Rodel or someone else here at San Jose can find a way to put some pressure on this Veggies deck. So Chrisabel doing the such a cool turn 2 play, and this is the turn 2 play you're going to see happen a lot, which is going to be 2-drop, usually Kaba, into Caulifla, and then attack with Caulifla, use Senzu Bean, untap 2, and then play another 2-drop. It's very powerful, especially if you can do Kaba into Kaba off of it. It's just very, very powerful, which Chris was able to do that. It looks like he actually got the planet Vegeta off of his life, and then used the life to get the planet Vegeta to go get the Kaba he needed. So now he's setting up his Kale. Now every time you see a Mecha Frieza Veggies deck with Kaba in the field, it now turns on Shigesh in the Kale. And if you guys aren't familiar with what Shigesh does, it's a combo card that allows you to put a 3 or less cost Saiyan into the field off of the super combo, which is very powerful. And since Kaba reduces the cost of Kale in your hand by 1, it actually makes Kel cost 3, so you're able to Shigesh into Kel, which is a very powerful play, and honestly one of the best Shigesh plays. All right, Chris continuing to develop his board here, taking some time. We'll see if he decides to attack with Mecha here and super combo. He's almost undoubtedly going to attack with Mecha here. He's wanting to get a card into his hand, but he does have, it looks like, 1 Shigesh in hand. Does have access to another Planet Vegeta, which will allow him to search for another Kel or Shigesh. So he's swinging for Kaba. Very aggressive play. This makes me think that Chris is wanting to put a lot of pressure on his opponent here. So we're going to see Shigesh into probably the Kel that he saw. But it could be some tokens. We'll see. All right, here comes Kel coming down. He's going to kill the 2 cost. Chris appears to be way over 5 cards in hand, so it looks like he's not going to be able to draw off the Kel. An interesting place here by Chris. I think he's just want to put some early pressure. The thing about SS3 Goku is you can't let him get too far into the game. The further in the game SS3 Goku gets, the more terrifying that card is. And so I think Chris is doing a good job here putting pressure on Rodell and making it so he can't really take too much advantage of the ability to untap energy, right? You don't want to let SS3 Goku get up to, 5 or 6 energy, because then it could be very troublesome. So Rodell's going to take that and go to 3 life. 3 to 4 life here. Chris still have the ability to be aggressive with Kel here. It looks like Chris does have another Senzu Bean in hand. It's possible that Chris decides to untap 2 here and continue to put pressure on Rodell. Rodell is tapped out with what appears to be no super combos in hand. This actually could be game right here. Chris does have access to Champa in hand, which means he can give this Kel a double strike if he can untap 2 with the Senzu Bean that appears to be in his hand. This actually could be game. This shows you what I'm talking about with veggies can be so aggressive or be so defensive. It's such a cool deck to watch be played. It's such a high skill cap deck as well. A lot of mistakes you can make. Chris, right here has to decide how many super combos can my opponent have in hand. What should I do? Here comes Time Patrol Trunks. Overwhelm for 3. Ooh, gets a Shigesh. Chris snap takes that, puts the other card we didn't get to see back on top. So Chris sitting at 2 Shigesh in hand. Pretty scary place to be in right now. And what Chris wants to do, could imagine, is try to get some cards out of his hand here so he can draw off of this Kel. But he wants to do that profitably, so we'll see what he can do. He does have, like I said, access to another Senzu Bean. Puts that right to the top. That's definitely going to be one of the cards he wants to play. He also can play 2 Caulifla out next turn as well, using 2 energy, because now they only cost 1 energy. So here Rodell's just going to pitch a Goku. Still no super combos in Rodell's hand. That's devastating. But he does have access to 3 Flying Nimbus in hand. So if Chris lets him get to the next turn, it's possible that Rodell can stabilize. All right, there's the readying the 2 energy. Chris taking some time, deciding if he wants to. He does have access to another Kel in hand. The Shigesh is going to let Chris efficiently get cards out of his hand to take advantage of other Kels. Will Chris decide? Looks like Chris is Rodell pitching 3 cards out of his hand. If that's not a go, Chris is almost definitely going to double strike right here. So I think he's going to double strike crit off this Champa that's in his hand. Probably Shigesh into another Kel, and then try to finish the game with the Kel. He actually might just try to hit him for 1 here, maybe, which seems reasonable. There's Shigesh into another Kel. Devastating right now. We just see the power of Mecha Freeze right here. It smells a little blood in the water. Now he's just going to go all in, it looks like. Definitely has the ability to win right here. Of course, we can see Rodell's hand and see that Rodell's hand's pretty lackluster right now. Unfortunately, Chris does not have access to a Scythe in hand. Taking a card from hands. What's this going to be? We'll take a look. Another Senzu Bean, guys. Holy moly. He can actually just play the other Caulifla. Actually, no. Chris is at 1 life. He can't. Okay, so here's 20k. 20k coming in. Again, he's at 1 life, so he doesn't have the ability to Senzu Bean or anything like that, but he can go Shigesh into Terra Scythe. There it is. We're going to see the new Kitchen Tail meta Shadow tokens coming in, guys. So he can go to, this is 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 60k double strike on Caulifla into Rodell. Let's see, he's going to add it back up. So that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 70,000 double strike. There's game 1. Goes straight to Chrisabella. Holy moly, guys. What a fast game. Man, that's what I mean, guys. It's insane to see the power. Insane to see the power of this Veggies deck. You know, to put so much pressure on his opponent. You just cannot tap out. You just can't tap out against this deck at any time. At any part of the game, they can kill you. It's very, very scary. Very, very scary, guys. So if everybody's in chat, guys, let me know. At KishnoMan in chat. I'll be able to read chat in between rounds, but unfortunately, I can't read chats during the game because we only have one monitor. We had to travel with our setup this time, guys, going all the way to California with it, so I wasn't able to bring a second monitor with me. And we actually won't have a camera on the caster desk. Maybe tomorrow. We weren't allowed to set it up today. The venue wouldn't let us set up our caster camera. I don't know why, but we weren't allowed to, so that was weird. So, again, you guys won't be able to see me, but we're just going to stay on the players so you guys can see that. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys are okay with everything. Like I said, we're still going to be able to bring you all this coverage live. I'm sorry, not live, on YouTube. It'll be in HD quality on YouTube. Also, guys, remember that ARG themselves are streaming uncommentated gameplay for all of their games for this event. So that is Cardfight Vanguard, that is Yu-Gi-Oh!, that is, I believe, Final Fantasy, Dragon Ball Super as well. There's another match. Table 1 will always be streamed on the ARG Circuit Series group, so you guys can go check that out as well. So we got a lot of cool coverage coming, a lot of unique coverage coming for you guys this regional, which is a good time to do it. It's the biggest regional that we've had, so very, very cool. Very, very cool. So going into sideboards. Oh, yeah, also, guys, I'm not sure I'll let you guys know this. Let me know at KishnoMan in chats. Again, guys, I can read chat in between rounds. So let me know at KishnoMan in chat. I'll do my best to answer your guys' questions as soon as possible. Like I said, if I don't see your guys' question beforehand, I apologize. Once I'm commentating the match, I can't see the chat, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But if you guys have any questions about, you know, the venue, the event, let me know. Also, guys, I know the stream is a little bit less, like, higher quality than we're used to. Zero Madam X, Yo Dusty. Hey, what's up, Zero Madam X? Love to have you here, my friend. Read me what numbers, how many freezes, and total players. Total players was right at 500. We were literally at 500 players, which is fantastic. The biggest Dragon Ball Super event to date, which is fantastic. Number of Frieza players, I don't know. There's no way to tell that currently, I don't think. I really doubt that the only way we could tell is if we went through all of the deck lists. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm sorry about the quality. I apologize so much. You guys know that this is not the normal quality I like to bring to you guys, but it is being recorded in HD quality for YouTube, so that will be up next week as soon as possible. Also, the reason why it's in such low quality is because we had to record. We had to use the Wi-Fi. We weren't allowed to use our cell phones, so we had to use the Wi-Fi for whatever reason. And the Wi-Fi is really bad here. It's terrible. And so, I think the reason why it's so bad is because so many people are using it. So I expect it to get better as the game goes. As people drop out of the tournament, leave, I think less people will be using the Wi-Fi, and we'll be able to gradually increase the quality as it goes. So I really, really apologize for that. But like I said, it will be streamed in full HD quality, so you guys, I mean, it's not streamed, it'll be on YouTube with full HD quality for you guys to see. So I really do apologize, like I said, guys, but it's really interesting to me how you go to these different venues and there's just so many, like, you know, this is the first venue that we've been to that's had these kind of weird rules, and we actually at the beginning I was told yesterday we wouldn't be able to stream at all. The union reps told Jim that we weren't able to stream at all. And luckily, Jim kind of, you know, found a way for us to do it. No, Dejinda, I'm not allowed to use the cell phone. We're also not allowed to record the casters at all. We're not allowed to have a camera set up for the casters, which is really... Table 1 stream should be on the Circuit Series website, guys. It should be on the Circuit Series Facebook group. I will get a link to all of those for you guys for future streams, and I'll put it up there as well. But it's going to be for all of their games too, guys. That's what's really, really cool. Dusty, do you feel anyone not playing Mecha should just shake hands with their overlords? Yeah, probably. I mean, Mecha is obviously the better how do I say this? Because it's where I don't think, you know, Mecha is like you have to play Mecha by any means. But I do think that Mecha is very, very powerful, obviously. So, yeah, I think that, if you're wanting to seriously try to win, I think Mecha is very good. But the problem is the Mecha mirror match is one of the worst mirror matches, just because if you're playing the same version, right? So if you're playing veggies versus veggies, it can feel kind of luck-based. So it's kind of weird sometimes when you're in that situation, because, you might feel like you have a better chance to play a fringe deck and try to outplay your opponent than get into, play a bunch of mirror matches and get outdrawn. Now, Dragon Ball is a game of skill first. Now, I mean that by a lot. I mean, skill is 60% of the game in the mirror match, right? Normally it's probably 80%. So in the mirror match, it goes down probably to 60%. Sometimes your opponent can have all 4 Shigeshas and you just kind of lose if you don't see any. So it can be weird for sure. But I think that's why if someone doesn't play Frieza in this event, that's why they've chosen to say, you know what, I don't want to go. I don't want to play the normal. I don't want to play mirror matches all day, right? I want to try to outplay them with a deck that I've designed to be good against one of the Mecha Freezes and kind of hope I hit those Mecha Freezes throughout the event. So. Alrighty, so it looks like we're on Chris Sabella's turn here. He's going to use his Mecha Freeze's ability to play out Planet Vegeta. Go to 6 life. Chris Sabella's searching the deck right here, see what he can come up with. What is he going to get with this? Probably just Shigesh. That's normally the target, but I don't know what's in his hand. I didn't get a chance to see his hand, so he might be short a Kaba here, so he might get a Kaba, which looks like he's probably just short a Kaba here. Or he has Senzu Bean and he wants to do double Kaba this turn, which could also be an indication of what he's getting. He also could just have multiple Shigeshas in hand. So if I'm Rodell right now, I think when you're playing against Mecha Frieza or any deck that's using Planet Vegeta, I think it's really important to try to figure out why they're getting the cards they're getting and kind of break down what's in their hand so you have an idea what you can do. Now, Rodell did a great job this turn by not tapping out, right? So Rodell's not going to be tapped out here on the turn 2. So he's going to be able to probably defend this. But we'll see. Again, veggies can put so much pressure on your opponent. It's ridiculous. I'm looking at Rodell's hand a little bit here. I don't see any Flying Nimbus or any Whis' Incursion or anything like that. So we'll see. All right, Chris taking his time. Going to take a life from the Caulifla, come into play effect. It looks like he gets a Cold Ballast from that card off of his life. Going down to 5 energy or 5 life. And he's just going to pass the turn. Interesting. So Chris must have just not had a Kaba in hand. So he had to go get Kaba to turn this on. Now, if I'm Rodell right now, I'm going to want to try to find a way to kill this Kaba if I can. If there's a way I can with a Goten combo card that's Kel in hand will do a pretty good job. Unfortunately, though, we know that Chris has the Cold Ballast. So this could be very, very devastating. Rodell's going to have to take his time. Figure out what he's going to have to do. Rodell does have a Piccolo in hand this time, though, so it might really help him on defense here. It looks like he's going to just pass turn. Oh, man, that's very, very devastating for Rodell. I mean, I agree with the play, though. None of these cards that he has in hand are really that great. He does have a couple Mass Saiyan in hand, which are great against veggies. A great card against veggies. If you can bait out some Cold Ballasts, very, very good card. He doesn't have a Way to Awaken in hand, unfortunately. He's one card short of that. Chris doing a good job not pressuring Rodell here. So, honestly, if he plays Kel out, it gets Cold Ballasted. He's in the same situation he was last game where he's tapped out and going into veggies 3 energy play or 3 energy turn. And probably going to be GG at that point. So Chris going to play out another play using 1 energy off the Kaba effect. Gets another Cold Ballast out of his life. As Chris, you don't really want to see that. Also, Chris playing 3 green energy down. Very unique. I don't see very many veggies player playing any more than 2 green energy at a turn. So we'll see what Chris decides to do. Looks like he's going to actually choose to awaken his opponent here. Attacking 20k. I'm surprised Chris decided to awaken Rodell. I think that might be a little bit of a misplay by Chris. I think it's okay to just not do that. Because obviously Rodell just immediately passing tells me he has nothing in his hand. He has no way to awaken. He has nothing to play out. And then Chris has 2 Cold Ballasts in hand too, so he can take advantage of those 2 Cold Ballasts by essentially putting Rodell in a situation where he's like, listen, you have to eventually do something. When we do, I'm going to Cold Ballast it. I want to essentially time walk you that turn and then impress you that turn after that. I think that would have been a fine course of action by Chris, and it's, again, slows his turn down a little bit. So Rodell going to play Piccolo here, draw a card. Here comes Chris's 15,000 to 15,000. Gets a Broly off that. That's a new set 3 promo Broly. Very good card. He's going to pitch Bulma here, go to 15 to 20, be able to go above that Mecha Frieza attack. Chris taking some time, looking through his hand, trying to decide what he wants to do here. He has the ability to play multiple more threats. He can play another Caulifla if he wanted, but it looks like he's actually just going to say, you know what, pass, it's your turn. I like that play by Chris. Again, you can tell just the versatility of the Veggies deck this match, right? Round one, game one, he kills his opponent on turn 2. Game 2, Chris has the ability to do a lot more things. He could be played a lot more slow. He can play a lot more control game. He can build up his board while stopping his opponent's board advancement. Very scary deck, and honestly, my opinion, why it's the best deck currently in the format. It looks like he's trying to gear up for an Overwhelm play here, maybe. He's just counting the cards in the drop here, trying to figure out what he wants to do. He does have, it looks like a Mass Saiyan in hand that he could use for that Overwhelm. So playing 4. Just going to play Mecha, it looks like, right here. Or Kel. Okay. This is going to probably get a Bloodlust from Chris. Yeah, there's the Bloodlust. I like this play a lot by Rodell. This is a perfect card to play into Cold Bloodlust. Now, I think Mecha was probably the more aggressive play, right? But if he gets Cold Bloodlust, that card's a lot. Like we talk about a lot. We've talked about in 3 different regional events, one of the worst cards you can get Cold Bloodlusted is your Mecha card because it becomes its best turn is the turn it gets played out, right? Where Kel is a fantastic card to get Cold Bloodlusted for Rodell because it doesn't get its kill effect, which stinks, right? But it does cost Chris a life, which is very powerful. It also stops you from having to sacrifice a card on your side of the field. So it's very good. So Chris is going to play Shigesh into Broly. Interesting play. Rodell has the ability just to sacrifice the Bulma, though. He's not going to have to sacrifice the Kel. See what Rodell decides to do here. Just kind of getting his warp set up here. Going to play 1 energy here for a Mass Saiyan, forcing Chris to have this second Cold Bloodlust, which of course we know he has. This is going to put Chris in a situation where Chris might have to win next turn if he decides to take this. Going from 3 to 2 is terrifying. And he's going to take it. Yeah, he has. I think he has to stop that. Great pressure by Rodell. Being able to put the card out and being like, listen, you can take the life and stop this, but you're in a bad spot. Now Rodell's swinging for 20k single strike. Remember, it is Cold Bloodlusted. Both these cards are Cold Bloodlusted, so they're just single strike, no critical or anything like that. Looks like Rodell actually swung into Caulifla there, trying to get the card off of out of play there. Rodell choosing not to swing with Kel. Which is kind of interesting. I think that Rodell probably should have attacked with Kel. The chances of Kel making it past this turn seems very unlikely from Chris. We know how the Veggies deck work. It runs a lot of removal. Not attacking it makes it so your opponent can't kill it with the baby Goku, the yellow baby Goku, but he can still kill it with his own Kel. He can also kill it with another Broly as well. So we'll see what Chris decides to do here. I think Chris is still in the charge phase right now, deciding if he wants to charge the energy or not. I think it's okay for Chris just not to charge here, unless he can charge a blue or a yellow. Looks like he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. He does have a Flying Nimbus in hand. It looks like Chris waved away said, no, I'm not going to charge. I'm not sure. Yeah, he did wave away the charge. So Chris is moving into attack here with a 20k Caulifla. Rodell taking some time. It doesn't look like Rodell has like a Flying Nimbus in hand or anything, but I can't see. So there he's just going to use his promo Mecha Frieza to stop that attack. Rodell's going to take that, go to 3. Gets a Crusher Ball off of that. Not a bad draw. This would be the Crusher Ball target, I would imagine. Yeah, there it is. Crusher Ball target. Crush Ball the Trunks. Now, the effect still goes through. Obviously, Chris can search through his Warp here and choose any card to get back, which he did choose. Chris is going to use a Shigesh. The Shigesh in the Broly, like we said. So that's going to kill the Kel, which I think is really important that Rodell used that card last turn. Now, obviously, it sets it up to where Chris can attack into the Kel and kill it. But that also, like, you get value out of Kel, right? You get attack. You maybe get a card out of Chris's hand. Maybe you kill one of his cards. Also, if he attacks into it and kills it the next turn, you know, it also saves you it saves you a damage, right? It saves you an attack. It almost turns into a blocker at that point. You know, so I think it's really important against Veggies. Against any removal heavy deck, you want to try to get as much play out of your cards as you can. Here comes these fabulous looking shadow tokens. And there's Shigesh and a baby Goku, which he's going to use to combo. So this is, again, for game with Champa. See the power of Champa in this deck. Jeez, this attack is so much. So this is 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 70? 70K. Double strike. 80K, I'm sorry. Double strike. That's game. Chris Bella taking outs. Round number 2. PBG coming in strong. Again, guys, we talked a lot about it. The versatility of Mecha Veggies, and I think we got to see that happen with this round. Super good match. Very, very good match. All right, guys, so I'm going to sit around here for maybe 5 minutes real quick, just to let you answer some of your guys' question. Let me guys know if you have any questions at all at Kishaman in the chats. Veggies OP. Veggies very good. Veggies very versatile. Is I think the best way to kind of label Veggies, talk about Veggies, is the versatility of the deck. It's very, very versatile. It can do a lot of things. Testy, it wasn't good. I thought it was a really good game. A lot of really cool stuff to happen. Oh, Optimus Brown, I think I'm now subscribed to you, brother. Thank you so much, man. I think I have all the notifications turned off. I don't know if I do or not. Actually, I might have forgot to. Thank you, by the way, for judging. Awesome job. You did great. But I think that I have the notifications turned off. So I don't know when you guys sub, unfortunately. But thank you so much for everyone who did sub. It really means a lot to me, obviously. I couldn't do what I do if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you all so much for not only your support of watching, but just your support with so many different things. Like I said, I just love you guys so much. It really means a lot. Like I said, I always... sorry, guys. Like I said, I always... I know. So that's what happens when you have Veggies on stream. So we have our head judge here, actually, guys. Casey Campbell. I think he's going to come over and say hi to you guys. Good job, Chris. Good job, guy.
Yo, how's it going?
Okay, yeah, I think you can...
Can you hear me? Hey.
Yeah, we have our head judge on here.
What's up?
Mr. Casey Campbell. If you guys have any questions, let me know. At Kishima, Dusty, what do you think about the Universe 2 green cards? I think they are pretty spicy. There are definitely some spicy cards. I also think they're not quite as good as I expected them to be, too. They're kind of lackluster in some regards.
I don't know. The fact that we have a March of the Apes from Grave, I think, is better than having March of the Apes from hand.
Sure, okay.
And the fact that Reaper Rain has a barrier that then you can play your KO stuff and then make your opponent discard with a barrier evolution for 3, I think is just great. And the fact that you have the Yard Rat and the other stuff that makes stuff cheaper and you can keep swarming the field with them, I think it's going to be great. But
right.
That's just me. I don't play this game. I just judge it. So.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know anything about this stuff. Thanks, Casey, for your amazing support. So yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the green cards. I like the come into play. I like the green guy new come into play card. I think that's really important. A combo come into play. I call them bodyguard cards, but they're just like once you combo with them, they come into play. They needed that, I think, to make green leaders relevant. Green leaders are pretty weak right now, and I think that's one of the reasons. There's other reasons, but I think that's one of them. So I think that card's super spicy. I like the new android cards. I think they're really good. The blocker android that actually can block and then ready is going to be so good in androids as well. So it's going to be really, really good. Actually, Jim, can I borrow you for 1 second, sir? All right, guys. So I know I've been talking to you guys a little bit about it, but I haven't had a chance to really talk about it. Where can they go to find the Twitch streams. I'm not the Twitch, the Facebook streams.
We're streaming all the ARG Circuit Series groups.
So do you have like ARG Circuit Series Dragon Ball and ARG Circuit Series
So it's
Firefight Manor?
ARG Circuits, I don't know.
AR Circuit Series, I don't know.
I just type D, and it pops on my phone. For D, Dragon Ball Super Circuit Series and Regionals.
Okay, yeah. So guys, you can go to Dragon Ball Super Circuit Series Regionals to see they're going to be streaming the top table every round, guys. So you guys get to watch 2 matches. It's insane. ARG went all out for this event. This is the biggest ARG Dragon Ball Super regional events, and they are definitely putting more quality into this. Now, on top of that, guys, you can still see the other card games. So if Dragon Ball Super ends, no problem. Jump over to the Yu-Gi-Oh group, watch the Yu-Gi-Oh matches, go watch Card Fight.
First time ever.
Right, first time ever. And that's
Went out and
insane.
bought 6 iPhones.
That's going to be awesome. There's
Need a
so
few
much
more
content.
arms.
Hint, hint. Yeah, guys, so you guys can definitely check that out. So make sure you guys go to these other groups. Go check out the Yu-Gi-Oh stream. Go check out Vanguard stream. Give ARG your support, guys. They're really putting tons of effort into this, and it shows. Akish Omeda, how are you liking Cali's weather? Loving it. Love Cali. I mean, I lived here for a year, guys. I used to live in Orange County for a while. Loved it. Loved Orange County. Loved it here. It's awesome to be back. I had Korean barbecue yesterday. It was amazing. Akish Omeda, hope you had a good trip and enjoying Cali. And good luck with the stream today. Sup, Casey. Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. We're having a great time. Like I said, the stream is going to get gradually better, I think, as the internet gets a little bit better. Hopefully we can talk them into letting me stream from my phone for the top cut at least. But we'll get through. Like I said, guys, we're trying to work with a union type thing, and so it's really weird. That's all I can say. It's really weird. There's some things they let us do and some things they don't let us do. I don't know why. But that's we're not allowed to have a camera on the caster desk. We weren't allowed to do that, unfortunately. And so, I don't know. So, you guys can't see me. I apologize. Stuff could always change, but right now that's what it is. Silent K118, Akish Omeda, exactly what Casey said. I think secretly it can be a new tier deck, possibly. Akish Omeda, be honest, did you really think Rodell's deck was that good? Yeah. I love SS3 Goku. I think SS3 Goku is really good. The bad thing about SS3 Goku, like we talked about earlier, you have to have the cards to interact with Mecha Frieza, right? If Rodell would have played the first game differently, I think that was a good game for him, right? He had multiple Flying Nimbus in hand. He had multiple ways to interact with his opponent, but he tapped himself out and lost, right? And so that stinks. But then in game 2, it was the reverse. He didn't tap himself out, but he didn't have any way to interact with his opponent, right? And so I think that's why it might have looked like it was a little lackluster, but I think the deck is fine. I actually love the Mecha Frieza card. If you can bait out enough Kobolas using the Overwhelm, Mass Saiyan, and Kells, those Mecha Frieza cards are absurd. They can really get you back in the game. You can do a lot of damage with those cards. All right, guys. Down with unions? Oh, I mean, no, guys. I mean, don't say down with unions. But it definitely made it very weird. We definitely had to jump through a lot of different hoops. I actually got to meet ARG's new media manager as well. What was your name?
Gilberto.
Yeah, Gilberto? Is that what it is? Yeah, Gilberto. He can sit down here. You're the man, Dusty. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, my man. But yeah, the media manager's down here. Like I said, you guys can't see him. Remember that. We don't have audio on the caster desk. We weren't allowed to do that through the venue. But he's here doing a great job with these streams on the Facebook groups. We talked a little bit about it, before we got here, but it's been super cool. It's the first time in regional history, guys, that you guys can watch 2 matches of Dragon Ball rounds and a match from every game that you guys offer. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was the goal today, was to Gilberto is my full name. Everybody calls me G, so everybody just
Sure.
the letter G's good.
Just
That way you don't
G.
have to stumble through it. Just a G makes it easy. For
Okay,
everybody.
thank you. Appreciate it.
That was our goal, was to stream every game simultaneously.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
And just get it out to the people that couldn't make it out to San Jose, and so that way they can still be part of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been amazing. It's absolutely been amazing. Guys, also, I see some of you guys ask about George. George is currently in a meeting with Bandai, and when he gets back, he'll be commentating with me. So
important meeting, yeah.
Yes. Bandai's been awesome. We met with, I know you guys met with Bandai a couple times over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we met with Jim and Vince and Mike last night. It was me, Marcus, Aaron Anthony from the Dragon Ball Super community discussion group, and got to sit down and talk about what Bandai was talking about. Got to talk a little bit about the future of Dragon Ball. Super exciting. G, tell you what, man, I'm super excited. Super excited. So
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't too familiar. I come from the Magic the Gathering background.
Yep.
And I just am now getting my hands into this world, and I'm super excited of the future and starting to learn the game myself. And it's an exciting path that this game is headed, and
Yes, sir.
where they're taking it. That this is really going to be a big deal. It's already a big deal, and it just feels like it will get bigger and bigger.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I get that feeling too. Every time I sit down and talk to Jim or Vince or Bandai or anybody about the game, they always just have so many more big. It's like you said, bigger and bigger and bigger. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it looks like 313 Gamer YT says Table 1 for those wondering is Mecha Apes versus Mass Saiyan. Remember, guys, you can go to Dragon Ball Super. It's Dragon Ball Super community. So at Circus. Let me get. I'm just gonna link it for you guys. I'm just gonna link it right up here for you guys. Sorry, I'm stumbling around so much, but I'll get that for you. And I'll link it. I need to be linking it more often for you guys. Honestly. Oh, I'm not logged into Facebook on this computer, am I? Well, here we go. And it continues. The problems continue. All right. I can use my phone. I'll just use my phone. I can't link it in my phone, unfortunately. Oh, my boy Kosh. Like I said, guys, the best mod on Twitch. It's a fact. Go to Google. Check it. Has the link for you guys in chat. Just click that link. It'll take you right over to the Facebook group where you guys can watch Mecha Apes versus Masked Saiyan. A great matchup. Guys, go check that out. Kosh says, I got you. I know you do, buddy. That's why I love you. Guys, I'm gonna get out here, let you guys go watch that on the community, on the ARG Facebook group. Guys, remember, go check that out. We'll be back here for round 3. George should be back, so we'll have dual commentary for you guys. Love you guys very much. Thank you guys for all the love, all the supports. Could not do this without you. G, thank you for hanging out.
Thank you for
I'm
having
sure
me.
I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more from you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have a lot of running around. I got a lot of cameras to constantly check on.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys for round 3, probably in I'd say 20 to 30 minutes, guys. Love you very much. See you guys next time.